Hi, ladies.
Hi, how are you? I'm Antoinette Atkinson from New Jersey, and my church's name is Christ Church, located in Howell.
I'm Kathy Holcomb from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Breakthrough Church is our church, and Third Day Ministries is the ministry that we founded to help fivefold ministers grow into the fullness of their destiny.
And I'm Renee, and I'm from Alaska, and I just have a few friends here that I wanted to talk with and share with you. Ladies, we have mentoring as part of our lives. It's something that we do on a regular basis. I guess, how is that a benefit, do you think? How has mentoring been a benefit to you, per se? Do you have mentors in your life?
Yes.
Both of you do?
Yes.
Obvious. That's why we're here.
Yes.
We're getting to enjoy that, aren't we?
Yes.
So as far as, Antoinette, as far as your life, how do you think it's changed and altered as a result of having a spiritual mentor? And when did you actually get to start benefiting from that?
Well, I think mentoring, at least for me, is beneficial in the fact that someone you could be accountable to, someone that can kind of pull your coattail, you can talk to, receive sound doctrine and truth from them, help guide you. A lot of times, pastors don't have someone else that they can talk to that's traveled the road and can guide them and direct them. And so a mentor is very helpful in that way, at least for me.
That's good. How about you?
I feel like I had the privilege and opportunity to be mentored even in early years by a pastor who had a wonderful heart. But the day came when I needed someone who could help me to expand, see further vision, go past the limits of where he was able to take me. And so being able to have a mentor that understood women in the ministry, had walked the path, had pioneered the road, just gave such encouragement and exhortation to be able to say, we can keep going, we can do this. So it's been a tremendous blessing to have someone that would come alongside and take my hand and not be afraid to correct me when I needed correcting.
Yes.
To push me when I needed to be pushed, and to encourage me to keep going.
I guess my question then is for you, when did you realize that you needed to shift and move up into a new level of mentorship? You know, where someone was mentoring you, but doing it a different person. How did you identify that in your life that you needed that?
I had the privilege of having my Bible school chancellor say to me, as the call on your life is expanding, you need other people. But I did go through a spell of tripping and trying to find the right person. And so in that process, it was lining up with someone with the same DNA, that's heart was passionate for the same thing. So that took a little bit of time, but I did have the advice from that Bible school mentor who had been in my life for several years to give me the advice to look out and expand in mentorship.
Now, Antoinette, did you feel the same thing happen in your life, or did it come in through an avenue that you weren't expecting?
I think a combination of those two things, probably. One being that needing someone that understood where I was, but more importantly, where I could be, and seeing beyond what I could see. So that was one. And then an unexpected avenue was because it didn't come the way I thought it would come.
Oh, okay. So expound upon that a little bit.
In that, I didn't know it totally until I saw it.
Oh.
And so, you know how sometimes you have an idea, and so you're waiting for the full disclosure or of it to come. And sometimes you can't quite put it all together, but when you see it, you go, that's it. That's her. That's him. For me, that's her.
Now, do both of you have ladies that you are mentoring yourselves?
Yes.
Yes. And what is one of the biggest challenges that you have with mentoring different people in your life? Are they different levels of ages, different designs of ministry? Are they in the marketplace, in the work church place? Who are you mentoring, and in what capacities does it challenge you?
I have a variety, ages, backgrounds, and their focus in ministry or even in business is different. I think one of the greatest challenges is carving out time on purpose to be able to be relational with them and touch them and have time alongside of them. Maybe the other thing would be something that Antoinette has already mentioned, and that's challenging them that they can be more than what they've already seen or thought that God would have for them.
Now, Antoinette, do you usually mentor somebody younger than yourself, or do you actually have people that are maybe a little bit older than you that you are mentoring? Both.
Yes.
How do you see that works? Because obviously, when you have different age groups that you're mentoring, you've got to come from different avenues. So what would be a challenge for you in being able to mentor the different age groups where it's effective for each one of those age groups and not just this big, huge lump of mentoring?
For me, I think the focus has to be what my strengths are. So regardless of their age, is me focusing on what is my strength and bringing that to the table. And so whether they're younger than I am or older than I am, my strength remains the same. But also in me identifying that, equally true, I have to understand what I'm not strong in and perhaps what I can't bring to them. And making them also, me not being afraid to also make them aware of that.
So when let's say you run into a situation where you don't have what is needed, like what you just said,
Yes.
how do you help them find an avenue by which they can receive what is needed?
I recommend resources. I encourage them to do other things that will add to them. And so what I can't bring or what I don't bring, because I don't, try to be there all. I know I'm not. Only God is that. So I recommend resources so that they can be well-rounded, or the other additional things they need in their life, they're able to get to help balance them.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, Katryn, you've been doing this for quite a while, probably a little bit more than some of us. So when you come across a young mom and you want to challenge her spiritually to engage and to excel, what are some pointers that you would give a young mother who's stuck at home, that doesn't have the ability to get out and do some of the things that you are doing in your life right now, the traveling of the world and ministering around the world? What would be a good pointer for her?
Well, I think one of the things that I got the privilege to experience was spending time with my children, but also finding the way to spend time with God. And put your hand to the plow at whatever you can find to do, not to be discouraged, and to cherish these years in your life, because they're short years that you're raising those children, and being able to love them to where they are a legacy of who you are, and then letting them know the importance of the years they're at. Sometimes they get very frustrated and it's challenging for them. They feel overwhelmed, and how could ministry ever be a part of it? But just encouraging them that that this is a short time, but that it's an important time, such an important time, because they are shaping the generations for the future. And sometimes it takes a little bit more encouragement with them, because they do seem like they're confined at this time.
That's very good. Do you have anything to add, Antoinette?
I agree totally, and I would just add, I'm reminded of Brother Lawrence and practicing the presence of God. Sometimes we only view ministry in such a limited way, or being with God in such a limited way. And so whether I'm washing the clothes, I'm spending time with God. Cooking, I'm spending time with God. Talking to them babies, I'm ministering for God. And so there are different ways. Sometimes it's taking the baby for a walk and someone else is taking the baby for a walk, that's an opportunity to minister. So looking for opportunities in that season to be the voice of God.
I think I just always remind myself, what am I doing with what God has already given me?
Yes.
And when I express myself through that and give into that, then he opens far more doors for me to be able to participate in. Okay, before we go, we're delighting our time here in Singapore, aren't we?
Yes.
This has been a great time. But if someone was out there and they were really hungry to find a mentor, what would be like 1 or 2 points that you would give them of how to seek out a mentor, and what maybe the process needs to be in order not only to find the mentor, but to establish permission for that relationship to be occurring? Any insights on that, ladies?
Start with prayer.
That's a good
Oh,
into
prayer?
prayer.
Are we supposed to pray?
Ask God
best voice.
to bring you into the place that that the right connection and the proper alignment would be there. And don't jump out ahead of God. Be willing to be patient enough for that proper alignment to be there.
How did you, or how would you, Antoinette, tell them to go after someone that they want to mentor them? I mean, what's kind of the procedure here? Some women have no idea what they should do or how they should do it. Is it the right way to do it? Is it the wrong way to do it? Are they stumbling? You know, are they offending? Are they complimenting? Well, do you have any input on that?
I'm going to agree with Kathy. Start out by praying, absolutely. But I think also availing yourself. So if it's, you know, sometimes we sit back waiting and hoping, but after we've prayed, you know, try to get in circles where you can fellowship with, perhaps that will help you direct your prayer, have an idea of a framework of God, who is it that I'm really looking for? Do I bear witness with their gifts?
Right.
And does it bear witness with my gifts and DNA? You know, and so sometimes, again, you don't know, but just getting in an environment with others, in our case, strong women, and being in that environment, seeing who they relate to, and just seeing, again, like giftings, or someone that, you don't want someone that's right where you are, but someone that's paved the way and that you believe and trust, and that can speak into your life and know that they'll love you for who you are, but not afraid to confront you.
Now, so then let's say I'm a young woman out there and I've been doing my prayer, my due diligence in prayer, okay? I've been praying and asking the Lord to send somebody to me. Should I just wait for somebody to come up and go, "Hi, I'm here to be your mentor"? What should the procedure be? How should I go about walking through that door? Should I contact them? Should I let them know what my heart is, what I see in them? Do you have any insight on that?
Well, I don't think you should. I think, well, sort of what I said, availing yourself, getting in an environment, because I think it's also a relationship that you're looking to have and establish with them. So you're not necessarily waiting for them to come to you. You've prayed. You're availing yourself to an environment where others might be. Recommendation. I know for me, it was like someone saying, you know what, come to this meeting, being exposed to, and it's like, wow, that's it. Your heart starts to feel a connection there. And then if that environment is created and you have the opportunity to talk to that person.
That works for you.
Yeah.
And Kathy, anything else that you'd like to add?
I think there's some protocols to follow, and depending on your own church environment, the one who might be over you in leadership, when you begin to sense that the Lord is opening doors for you to connect with someone. Are they inside that circle? Is it someone that's outside of that circle? And so those present some different circumstances. And if it is someone that's outside of your own church or your church government, be it a denomination what? Go to the one that's over to you and talk to them about it. Don't just run out and grab hold of someone and then cut ties where God's put you. Do it rightly, and as you do it rightly, and seeking the permission, seeking the approval. Sometimes we don't like the word permission, but the confirmation of that person who's stewarding your soul, then you can move into that relationship without presenting jealousies and angers and the opinion that you have forsaken where you need to be to go there. So I think it's important that we look at some proper protocols and be willing to follow that.
I think that's probably one of the hardest things, is the willingness to follow the protocols that need to be in place and know that they're there to protect you, both physically and spiritually.
Yes.
Now, ladies, I appreciate your time and your investment, and I just really strongly believe that we weren't made to be ordinary. We were created to
Amen.
be extraordinary. And so I believe that you represent that. And thank you so much for your time.